Today we're going to start working on our optical illusion tubes using value to draw them so they look like they are three-dimensional or popping off the page. We're going to start with our pencil, write our name on the back of our paper, and follow the instructions on the handout. I'm going to start by drawing about 3 or 4 vertical wavy lines. I don't want to do more than that or else it'll get too complicated. Then I'm going to draw one line horizontally going through about half of the page, splitting my paper in half. Then with my pencil, I'm going to start creating these curved or U lines that go all the way up each little line or column or tube that I have created. I want to make sure my lines go down and they are nice and curvy versus flat, so that way it helps with the illusion that we are going to create when we draw our values. Notice how I'm only working on the top half of the page right now. I'm making sure my lines kind of almost touch each other on the ends so they are nice and rounded versus going straight across. I'm going to do this on the entire half of the page with my pencil. Nice U shapes. Now that I've got the top half done, I'm going to do the bottom half. And what I wanted to do with the bottom half, which is why I hadn't done it yet, is I want to make them go the opposite direction. So that middle horizontal line that we use to split the paper in half will be our dividing line, and our lines, our U-shaped curved lines, whatever you want to call them, will be going either up or down depending on which side of the horizontal line they are at. Remember to make them nice and curvy and make them really exaggerated so they look like they are curving. You can already start to see the illusion that these lines or tubes will be more three-dimensional. If we just make our lines go straight across, we're not going to be able to see that illusion. After I've got my lines drawn on there to create my tubes, I'm going to take a Sharpie and I'm just going to go and over only the line that goes in between each tube. This is just going to help push that part of the paper back in the illusion and make it really look three-dimensional once we add all the color. Now that we've got our tubes all drawn out, we're going to start adding our color in and using our value to create the illusion of a three-dimensional tube and depth. I'm going to start with my black, and I'm going to start on this first tube. I'm going to start on the outside edges, and I'm going to do the darkest I can by pressing the hardest I can. In the middle, I'm going to do the lightest I can, and then in the middle, just kind of a medium black. I'm going to go a little bit darker just in the corners, and then I want to blend it out. When I do this project, I like to do a very simple lightest, medium, dark, and then go back in and kind of blend my lines out so they don't look like straight lines. It helps create that illusion that it's coming out toward you because the top or the center of the line is highlighted, like it's catching the light. So I do my darkest in the corners, my lightest at the top, and kind of a medium in between, and then I blend them all together. I can create a pattern using the colors I choose, and that could be a fun way to do it, or you can do it randomly. You can also do whatever colors you want. I wouldn't do more than 4 colors at a time because then you get into really complicated colors and so many different colored pencils to use. So I chose 4 colors: black, purple, blue, and green. You can see how I use my dark, medium, light, and then I go back in and I kind of blend and soften those edges up. And you can start to see how it creates that illusion that it's coming out into space and that it's three-dimensional. You're going to continue to do this all the way up through that entire tube and then into the next one and the next one. It takes some patience, but it turns out really cool in the end because you've got a drawing that looks like it is actually three-dimensional and coming out into space. Another trick I like to do is if I know I have 4 colors, I can just go and do all of the black lines that I have in that row by counting. So I did a black line in the pattern, and then I counted 1, 2, 3 spaces in the middle, and then I'm doing the next black line. So that way I don't have to keep switching back and forth. That's one way that I can just make it go a little bit faster. As you're drawing, don't forget to make the darkest corners the lightest at the top in the middle, and then blend it out from darkest to lightest. If you don't blend and you don't have that light highlight at the middle part, then you're not going to get the illusion that it is coming out of space and that it is something that is three-dimensional. So take your time and remember to blend out your edges so they are soft and they don't look like you just colored dark, medium, and light. Have fun with it, and I can't wait to see what colors you choose and your own optical illusion tubes.